give me a moment to organize myself. Talk amongst yourself, please.
Okay.
Sarah.
We love you more.
That's it.
Women.
Sarah, I love you the most.
Oh.
I love you times infinity.
Sarah, women.
I said women.
Women.
Hi, everybody. I'm ready now if you're ready. Sorry. Well, here we all are. And I think the most important part of today was that, and this whole week, that we all had fun. So I hope that, did you guys have fun? Yeah? Today, for those of you who weren't with the Senate and House, I sat in the back, I listened in, I observed all of the actions and all of the great moments that were part of that, and I was very honored to be there for the Senate and House. The conversation was sensational. People would bring up one idea, and people would raise their hands, stand up. There was some silent clapping. It was awesome. It was great to hear it, and I think everyone really came alive during this time. People could find their passion to talk about stuff, and there were certain issues where people were just fired up. Yeah, let's do it. And there were other times where people would just sit back and they just wanted to listen and see what everyone else was thinking. So I thought that was very, very cool. The bills I did hear were very passionate. They were well thought out, and I'd like to give a round of applause for everybody who wrote a bill and everyone who was involved with today. So to those of you who were at the Capitol today, first of all, I hope it was awesome. Hope you had fun. And I'd now like to acknowledge the presented bills that I had the honor of reading. There were 3 bills presented to me. I did veto one. I exercised my veto power. And I was so excited to have them sent back in to be amended and me to sign them again, but that was for a next session, which is not going to happen because we are leaving today and not coming back.
I was worried I'd go
So I'd just like to introduce the bill that I did veto, because even though I did veto it, it was an awesome idea. I loved it. There was just a little clarification that was needed. So it was about general legislation, all about requiring human translators, I don't know what kind of translators they do, for hospitals. It was a great idea. I know we talked about it before. One of our speakers had mentioned how a translator had said a word that wasn't exactly right and had changed what the patient had been trying to say. And that's what it eventually came down to. I was afraid that this bill would do more harm than good without the specifications that I did not see, unfortunately. So I would like to thank whoever submitted the bill. I thought it was awesome, but just need a little more work. We'll clean it up. So a round of applause for whoever wrote the bill. There were 2 bills I had the pleasure of signing, and who I will in a minute ask my peers to come up and sign. The first one was Senate Bill number 9. This had to deal with the public restrooms, and it was submitted by our Jobs, Energy, and Community Development Committee. I'll just read it really quick. It says, be it enacted by the 2015 session of the ALA Minnesota Girls State Legislature that all new government-funded buildings must provide unisex bathrooms, and all existing government-funded buildings with unisex restrooms, and they were there for the safety of parties that would not like to identify with a gender or would just feel safer in a unisex bathroom. So I had the very esteemed pleasure of signing that one, and in a minute we'll have everyone else sign it too. The second bill that I signed and was very pleased about had to do with a very current issue, I think is all kind of near and dear to our hearts, is texting while driving. So if you hopefully have never done said act, maybe you know someone who's been affected by it, you know someone who does it, and you know someone who you should tell to stop it. So the Transportation and Public Transit Committee submitted this, and they submitted this bill as an act relating to increasing current penalties for texting while driving and to update a Minnesota state statute. So it was all about increasing punishments for repeat offenders and making sure that people are aware of the dangers that this can cause through fines, and because what other way to make people listen than taking their money, right?
Yeah.
So those were the 2 bills. I was very pleased, and if Now I could have the Speaker of the House of Representatives, President of the Senate, Chief Clerk of the House of Representatives, and the Secretary of State join me on stage, please.
Oh my God, it's all official. Here.
Let's go Sarah and Sarah.
Sarah squared. Does anybody else have these? I'm still not out. Agreed? Agreed? Dude, so much of this. We have lunch and stuff. Not all of it. Carrying the heart. And napkin.
It's done. Yeah.